Today, we are going to be installing Shoup Manufacturing's WL5000 Rotary Beacon Kit on a John Deere 8300 tractor. Included in the WL5000 kit is a beacon light, wiring harness, square rocker switch, mounting bracket, and hardware. The installation can be done with one person, but is much easier with two. One person located inside of the cab, the other on a ladder. Be sure to wear protective eyeglasses throughout the installation. Begin by disconnecting the power from the battery. Remove all of the bolts and screws from the roof of the cab. This includes removing the mirrors. You will need to raise the roof up high enough to be able to access the inner roof panel located behind the radio. Next, remove the 4 screws holding the radio to the cab headliner. Locate a spot that is clear of obstructions on the inside of the roof liner as well as the outside, and then drill a small pilot hole into the roof liner. We are going to use a 3/8 inch bit, gradually increasing the hole size to 1 inch. From inside of the tractor cab, locate and connect the WL5100 harness to the 2-pin MetriPack connector. Begin feeding the long lead of the wiring harness through the 1-inch hole, leading with the 2 WeatherPack pins. From the outside of the tractor, route the harness lead around the cab roof and over the front left-hand corner of the cab. After feeding most of the harness through the 1-inch hole, cut and install the rubber grommet around the wire harness and leave about 6 inches of the harness on the inside of the inner roof. Next, we are going to install the switch. Find a spot that is somewhat close to the radio and in a convenient location. Prior to actually marking the spot with a pen, look on the back side of the headliner to make sure there are no obstructions that will get into the way of the switch. Use the switch faceplate to measure, square, and line up where the switch should be installed. Carefully cut the hole out with a utility knife. Make the hole just big enough for the switch to fit through. After the hole is cut out, feed the switch plugs through the headliner and the switch mounting plate. Hold the faceplate over the switch and plug in the connectors. Use the 1/2 by 3/4 inch self-tapping screws to attach the switch plate to the headliner. Do not over-tighten the screws as they will strip out. You may now reinstall the radio. Drill a hole using a 7/16 bit through the lower roof panel, making sure to avoid any obstructions. Feed the 2 WeatherPack pins through the hole. Now, we are going to assemble the mounting bracket. Begin by feeding the short WL4150 harness into the mounting bracket. Using a flathead screwdriver, attach the brass plug to the power wire and tighten the screw on the plug to hold in place. Thread the brass plug into the pipe and then use the small, self-tapping screw to attach the ground wire. Install the rubber cap onto the bracket by sliding over the top of the brass fitting. Using the swivel bracket and 2 sets of pipe clamps, we will now assemble the remainder of the light bracket. Note that there are 2 small sets of pipe clamp brackets and 1 large set for different size pipes. For this installation, we will only be using the smaller clamps. A 9/16 wrench or socket is needed to tighten and secure the bracket onto the tractor. Next, install the 2-pin WeatherPack plug housing onto the terminals. Make sure to match the wire colors from each harness when connecting the 2-pin terminals. Install the rotary beacon. Secure it into place by tightening the wing nut. Reconnect the battery cable and test the beacon to make sure it works. Thank you for joining us today. If you have any questions or would like to place an order, please visit www.shoupparts.com or call and talk to one of our highly trained sales staff at 1-800-627-6137. Shoup Manufacturing, keeping farms running since 1977.